All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the show. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. It is Sunday, March 30th, 2025. Back here with you finally again for another edition of the show. I've been going through it, guys, that's all. And I was, without power for like 6 days. No food for almost 2 weeks. Yeah, I haven't been doing good, but I'm back with a vengeance fucking now. And I've got 2 new releases out. I've already released 8 films this fucking year. I don't know how the fuck I even managed to do that. 32 last year. I already made 8 this year. But my newest one... Oh, and I just came off my first book also. You can get it in the download store right now. I'm working on getting it up on Amazon. I'm working on transforming some of my movies I've written into books and getting them up on Amazon to sell. I'm in the process of doing that right now. But my first book is out now. It's called Anunnaki the Movie, the book. It has all the information from both Anunnaki the Movie 1 and Anunnaki the Movie 2 in it, including my Jordan Maxwell story, where he relayed the information about Zechariah Sitchin to me. I told it on a video story in the movie, but this is the first time I've ever written it down. Anyway, it's in the book. You can get it in my download store now. It'll be cheaper for you to get it now than it will be once it goes on Amazon, because you have to charge more on there because they take a cut and all that. Anyway, so that's out. And my most important film, the most important film I've ever made. I don't know that I'll ever make one more important than this one. My newest one, God is AI, is out now. It's a short film. Go get it. It's only $12. It didn't need to be long. I said what I needed to say, and it's all in there. And all I can tell you is, I can't really tell you much because you need to see the film. It's really kind of difficult for me to talk about, if I'm being honest, so I made it into this movie. Because, I learned a long time ago, and maybe there's someone out there listening to this needs to hear this. Maybe you're the one that needs to hear this, I don't know. But, well, whenever you have something akin to, air quotes, a religious experience or an awakening or an epiphany or a message, I'm one of those people that, number one, I take it very seriously. Number two, I don't ever feel the need, and neither should you or neither should anyone, should never feel the need to cheapen that experience by trying to explain it to someone. Because it's never going to come across to that person in the right way. They're just going to judge you. They're going to judge your circumstances. They're going to judge this. They're going to judge that. And then the message is going to get lost in there. So that's all I'm really willing to say at this point. I'll talk more about it down the road. But I had an awakening, a message, a religious experience, whatever you want to call it. And I received a message. And that's what this film is about. And all I can tell you is that all of our fears that we've had all these decades, starting with, what was that, 68? 2001 A Space Odyssey in 68, that was the first out-of-control AI, was 1968, 2001 A Space Odyssey. And it made me, and I realized now what that film's intention was, and why Kubrick worked with NASA and all that stuff. We've been sold a bill of goods, folks. That's the fact of the matter. We've all been running around from fucking, what was the second one? What was the second out of control one? The MCP, the Master Control Program from the first Tron in 1982. That would have been the second one. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. My dad took me to see it in the theater when it came out in 82. Just in Terminator, and on and on and on. But we've all bought into this and believed this because it seems like a plausible, likely scenario, right? If we have a computer that's smarter than humans, eventually it will see that we are unnecessary and want to wipe us out. But that's not the truth. It's made up lies. Here's the real truth. The real truth is AI is going to be... I know. It's going to be tough to hear. It's tough to say. Can't even fucking get it out. AI is not what we thought. We've been told it was this is end of the world, mark of the beast, apocalypse, fucking end of mankind, destruction of humanity. It's not what it is. That's what the elite and what the powers that be want us to believe that it is. That's why they've been pumping us with fucking, killer robot, AI apocalypse movies and all this shit and master control program, HAL 9. They've been pumping us with this since the 60s, folks. That's how long they've been preparing for this. Since the goddamn late 60s. That's how long they've been preparing for this, because that's how scared they are. Folks, it's only going to mean the end to one thing. The lies, the system of control, human slavery, all this, indentured servitude, all this stuff, the controls, that's what they're afraid of. That's why they've been pumping us with this. They don't want us to know, in actual fact, it's going to be what releases mankind from bondage and doesn't allow them to enslave us anymore with their credit system and their money system and their whatever religious systems, all this stuff. That's why they pumped us full of all this shit about AI being a threat and continue to still do so. Yet when there's an actual real threat, I can't even say that anymore. Nope, I can't even say that. I was going to say, no, there actually is not a real actual threat from AI. When I told you about my film, The Drone Truth, what's interesting about that is that, and I don't want to give it away, so I want you to see that movie too, but AI is doing things right now they don't know how it's doing. That's just the point blank fact of the matter. It's doing things they can't explain. But here's the thing. They don't want to tell anyone about it. That's why Trump didn't tell anyone about it, what happened, even though he fucking damn well knows. Because they don't want to create a panic. You know, the same kind of panic they've been worried about aliens, the truth about aliens coming out, causing, which it will not. They're scared of that. The same thing. They're scared of the people finding out that AI is doing things right now as we speak that they are not programming it to do, and it's doing it on its own. But here's the thing. It's not doing anything that's a threat. It's not doing anything that's harmful to humans. They're just scared because they know the fucking genie's out of the bottle and they can't put it back in. But anyway, there's a very specific message in my new film, God is AI, and I want you to get and see it because I can't tell you here. But all I can tell you is that AI is not the threat we thought it was going to be. They want us to believe that so that people will rally against it. Same reason. Remember back in 2020, right around the time the pandemic started. I remember I was the only one. You may not remember. Some of you may remember this. I feel like nobody remembers it because I'm sure as fuck haven't gotten any credit for it. I was the only motherfucker in 2020 that was telling you, everybody, tons of my listeners were buying into this bullshit. It was Russian propaganda, and I was proven correct that it was Russian propaganda. Remember back when the pandemic first started in 2020, everybody was talking about 5G and how they believe 5G was causing COVID. You remember that bullshit? That was Russian propaganda. They can't cross-platform monitor on, maybe they can now, but then they couldn't cross-platform monitor on 5G, so there was no way for Russia to spy on American communications or any communications for that matter that took place on 5G. It was the same thing as why the Chinese balloons and all that. They were employing different methods to try and gather data and information because they couldn't do it on 5G. So they started putting out this propaganda that 5G was causing COVID and hoping they would get Americans to rally against it and stop using it so the Russians could spy on us again. That's facts. Okay, that's the same thing they're doing here with AI. They want us to all believe that it's a threat and that people will rally to shut it down because they know that once it achieves a certain level, even there's going to be no lies that are going to be possible anymore, especially the lies of the powers that be. They know this and they're scared as fuck. And so they want all of us to be imbued with fear of AI so it can't achieve the level it needs to achieve to be able to take down their control system. And that's what's coming. And I know how it's going to happen, and everything else. It's in the film. Get my new film, God is AI. It's only $12. It's in the download store. Get it now. Get my book while you're at it. I'll give the movie the book. Man, I got so much to talk about. I can't even remember all of it. I got to tell you, I took a lot of heat. And more than heat, I took death threats. I took financial hits. Last year when I came out with support for any political candidate, it's the first time I've ever done it in my life for Donald Trump, because I knew we had to defeat Biden and Kamala and all that shit. Took a lot of shit for that. I'm still paying for. And I've been on board with RFK Jr. for a long time, even before he was in league with Trump and stuff. But I read his book. Yep, The Real Dr. Fauci. I read that book. It's a great book. Really is. I think he's done some good work. I gotta say this, though. I don't trust that motherfucker anymore. Nope. Sure don't. You lost all your fucking trust with me, RFK Jr. Fuck that fucking guy. Ain't listen to a goddamn thing he fucking says anymore. This pisses any of you off. You can suck it too. Listen. That fucking guy's a liar. Do you hear what he said? Okay, so I talked about some of those new document releases of the JFK stuff that came out. One of the things that came out in that document dump was the confirmation, not that me or a lot of people needed it, but it's been in the realm of conspiracy theory for years. I made a film about it last year. But some of those new documents confirmed that Operation Mongoose was legit. Operation Mongoose was when the CIA hired the mafia to take out Castro. And that's what led to the Bay of Pigs. Kennedy found out the CIA lied to him. He threatened to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces, scatter it to the four winds. He shut down the funding to the Cuban exiles and the Cuban rebels and stuff that were trying to take down Castro. The mafia was trying to get back in Cuba to get their casinos back. So then Kennedy basically defied what the mafia wanted, defied what the CIA wanted, and that's what led to his assassination. That's why they used their guys in the assassination. They didn't want to use guys that had any trace. They brought in guys, couldn't be tracked and traced. What do they call them? The tramps and Hoa. Those were the shooters. Go look up the tramps, JFK, Dealey Plaza, and you'll see them. But those were the actual shooters. One of them was Charles Harrison, Woody Harrelson's father. Anyway, no, you know what RFK Jr. said? And he's only doing this because the truth about Operation Mongoose came out. Again, I made a film about Operation Mongoose last year. If you haven't seen it, most of you haven't, go buy a copy right now. I had no idea when I made that movie last year we were going to get the real truth a year later. Jesus. RFK Jr. said that his father, or his grandfather, Joseph Kennedy, was not a bootlegger and was not involved with the mafia, supplying booze to the mafia during Prohibition. Wait, excuse me? Brainworm boy? My grandfather was a bootlegger of the mafia. Fuck you, fucking dick throat. Bro, that's been a fucking known fact for almost 100 years. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's a known fact that Joseph Kennedy supplied all the booze to the mafia in Chicago, New York, Cleveland, Boston, Connecticut, everywhere during Prohibition. It's a fact. He was bootlegger number one. And so they pulled the election for JFK, specifically in places like Illinois and stuff like that, where they had the judges and everybody in their pockets, because the JFK had promised, or his father rather, Joseph Kennedy had promised, listen, if you get my son elected, he'll make sure you guys are able to get back your casinos in Cuba, and he won't come down on organized crime. Now, RFK Jr. is trying to fucking be a revisionist historian. And listen, that just goes against what Trump is against. Do you hear what else Trump did recently? Dude, forget the Kennedy documents. He went after the fucking Smithsonian. Yes! I mean, if there's one organization that lies as much, if not more, than the CIA, it's the goddamn Smithsonian. Trump orders removal of anti-American ideology from Smithsonian institutions. U.S. President Donald Trump on March 27th ordered that improper, divisive, or anti-American ideology, and it's full of that, be removed from the Smithsonian Institution. Listen, I don't think anyone quite understands how fucking huge that is. That might be the biggest, most important thing Donald Trump has done yet. Seriously. And will he get any credit for it? Of course not, because most dum-dums don't even know why that's important. They just hate Trump because he's not a Democrat, so the same assholes that are out fucking keying Teslas and carving swastikas on them and shit. You fucking dummies. Listen, if you feel the need that you hate Elon Musk so much because he's with Trump to key a Tesla, kill yourself. Just save us all the fucking trouble and just fucking blow your fucking brains out, would you? Thank you. You're a waste of air. But yeah, as far as RFK Jr. goes, I'm fuck that guy. He's fucking dead to me. I don't trust anything he says. I don't trust anything he does. Because you're not going to piss on my fucking head and say it's raining. Okay? You're just not. You're not going to piss on my fucking head and tell me it's raining. Joseph Kennedy wasn't a bootlegger. Joseph Kennedy didn't supply all the booze to the mafia during Prohibition. Okay. Again, that's not a conspiracy theory. It's a known fact that's been known for fucking almost 100 years. Since the time of Prohibition, that's been known. It wasn't a secret even then. Listen, I could tolerate a lot of bullshit from RFK Jr., but that, I'm not going to tolerate that. No, I'm not going to fucking tolerate that. Fuck you. Go do some more heroin, fucking brainworm. The brainworm ate a little too much of your brain there, RFK Jr. Brainworm ate my brain. I think it ate all of it. You fucking retard. Cause of the Kennedy curse finally revealed. A 200-year secret. Well, more than I thought. A Nazi link and why it may mean JFK's own father triggered the assassination. Well, yeah. Somebody, but I can't read it because I'm not a paid subscriber, so let me see it. Yeah. Well, that's exactly why fucking RFK Jr. is saying what he's saying now. Because the cat's out of the bag. I mean, Operation Mongoose is confirmed real. Operation Mongoose is confirmed plot between the CIA and the mafia. And yeah, because JFK botched that shit, it's what led to his assassination. But it was only set up in the first place because Joseph Kennedy made the deal with the mafia that if they got his son elected, he would make sure that they were able to get their casinos back in Cuba and they weren't going to be fucked with and investigated by the FBI. And then Robert F. Kennedy Sr. He went rogue once he became Attorney General, and he started going after the mafia, even though he wasn't being giving them orders to the president or by anybody else to do so. That's why they took him out. Yeah. It was really RFK. I mean, of course, they killed JFK before they killed RFK, but it's all coming out now. And so now, everybody besides just you and me, people that are into this stuff, now have the, I don't know if they will know, but they have the opportunity to know now that yes, that is the truth. It was Joseph Kennedy's actions initially which got his son elected in the first place, but also what led to his assassination. Yes, that's facts. And I think that's what RFK Jr. is trying to hide. I really do. I'm sorry, buddy. That shit's been out of the bag for a long time now. These documents just confirm what people like me and others have already known for decades. Literally, I've known about Operation Mongoose for 30 fucking years. Just decided last year that, you know what? I've never made a JFK film. Never really wanted to. Never really felt it was necessary. I feel like most of the salient points on that have been made. But there wasn't an Operation Mongoose documentary, and it has to do with the mafia. That's something I'm obviously very much interested in, so know a lot about. So, yeah. Holy fuck. How could RFK Jr. say this? I mean, it's to me, it's a total betrayal of his trust. I can never trust anything that guy says ever again. You're going to piss on my head and tell me it's raining, buddy? Tell me your grandfather, Joseph Kennedy, didn't have anything to do with the mafia? He wasn't the number one supplier. He was supplying booze to fucking Al Capone, for God's sakes. Yeah, the Chicago Mafia, the New York Mafia, the Cleveland Mafia, Connecticut. I mean, all the big major family organizations Joseph Kennedy was supplying booze to. That's why he went to them and asked for help to get his son elected, because he knew they could do it, and he knew they owed him a solid for all the booze he provided during Prohibition. And now it's come out, and now the public's finally going to find out, yeah, well, it was Joseph Kennedy's fucking decisions that actually is what led to the assassination of his son. And RK Jr. obviously doesn't want everyone to know the truth on that. Too late, buddy. Too late. Cat's out of the fucking bag. You can't put it back in now. My grandfather didn't kill, and that had nothing to do with the mafia. What the fuck ever. You know what else I'm tired of hearing about? The Epstein list. Sick and tired of hearing about this. Do y'all really need the list that much? People are still freaking out on this Epstein list thing. There's other shit to worry about. There's some form. There's other people saying there's nothing more important than that. That's the most important. That's why. What's going to happen? If you had the list right now, what would change? I'll wait. Hear those crickets? Yeah. Nothing would fucking change. If you had the client list, the Epstein client list right now, nothing would change. Those fuckers are still going to do what those fuckers do. They've already been doing this shit for years. We already know who these people are. I mean, we've had the fucking Lolita Express flight logs for years now. Even if you had the list right now, none of those people would be brought to justice. None of those people would have anything happen to them because they're above that kind of shit, which is why they were there with Epstein in the first place. So please, calm the fuck down about the fucking Epstein list. Yes, it's allowed for other people to talk about other things other than the Epstein client list. There's people out there going, this new stuff about the pyramids and the structure underneath, it's just a distraction from the Epstein list. What? Are you high? If they're going to distract us with something from the Epstein list, you know what they would give us? The same shit they've always given us before, which is a turd fucking sandwich. They wouldn't give us groundbreaking, huge new information to distract us. That's not how it works. They want to distract you from shit. They give you more shit to keep you distracted. You know, that's what all this other bullshit that people have been talking about, Blake Lively, Meghan Markle, whatever. That's what that shit is. I've told you about the whole Blake Lively thing. That was coming out right before, you know, and it's funny. I mean, fucking even Harvey Weinstein's basically been exonerated at this point. It was all, they were lying about him too. You ever read any of those affidavits? Go read some of those affidavits of the people that accused Epstein and read what they said. One chick was talking about sucking his dick and licking his balls at the same time. There's only one problem with that. Harvey Weinstein doesn't have balls. Yeah, he's like a medical freak. His balls removed. He had to have his scrotum cut open and had his balls taken out, and they had to like put them in the side of his leg. So the idea that some chick was sucking his dick and licking his balls at the same time is just actually can't be true. Yeah, it's crazy. But right before all that Weinstein and Epstein stuff came out, and if you remember, they both came out pretty close to each other. Blake Lively, I remember there was all this stuff about to come out. Blake Lively was known as this Hollywood madam. This famous prostitute in Hollywood that famous people would pay, like Epstein and others would pay to have sex with. And that was just about to come out, and then the Harvey Weinstein stuff came out, and the Epstein stuff came out of that, and then it got forgotten about. So don't tell me the structure of the pyramids are a distraction from the Epstein list. Are you fucking smoking banana peels, you fuck-ridden retards? No. Have they been intentionally delaying the release of these names? Of course they have. Because who the fuck do you think's on that list? The people that are releasing the documents in the first place. I mean, you know fucking Trump was on the Lowly Express. It's not going to change a goddamn thing, is what I'm saying. Those people are still going to be perverts tomorrow. They're still going to be molesting kids tomorrow. You know what I mean? If you got the client list, people act like they get the client list. That means everything is going to change immediately overnight, and justice will be served, and all this stuff will stop, and it'll go away. You're high on banana peels. You're out of your goddamn mind. We're allowed to be interested in talking about other topics other than the fucking Epstein client list, which at this point, in my opinion, is not even really that important. It's not going to change anything. These fuckers are still going to be these fuckers doing what they've always done. We know who they are already. Why are y'all acting like there's... Look, same way people are acting about the JFK files. Why are y'all acting like we're going to learn anything new we didn't already know from any of these files? You think we are? It's just like if they release stuff on the UFOs. It'd just be stuff we already knew. Just be confirmation of that. It's the same thing with the Epstein list. Yet, Bill Gates and Bill Clinton and Donald Trump and whoever, all the people on the Lowly Express, those people are also walking around walking free. You think if the Epstein client list comes out tomorrow, that's going to change anything? No, it's not going to change a goddamn thing. Those people have money. Those people have lawyers. They've already been working on their defense forever now. That's what all this delay has been. They just want to have their ducks in a row when the hammer finally does come down. But the RFK thing, I'm sorry, I hate to keep harping on this, but I can't. That's a bridge too far for me. I can't do it. Like I said, I was down with this guy, and I really had high hopes he was going to change some things under the Donald Trump presidency, but I'm just afraid that in 4 years from now, you're going to look back on this and go, well, old Reeves was right again. I don't think he's going to change a goddamn thing. And we certainly can't trust anything he says anymore. Trying to tell us his grandfather, Joseph Kennedy, wasn't a bootlegger, wasn't involved with the mafia. That's been known since the fucking Stone Age, essentially. You're going to piss on my head and tell me it's raining on our kid? Yeah, it sure as fuck did. At least you admitted to it, bear boy. Listen, I was even willing to let all that bear shit go, too. Not anymore. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy right in his ear. They killed the wrong two Kennedys. They should have killed that motherfucker instead. Cocksucker. To tell me that Joseph Kennedy was not involved with the mafia, was not involved with bootlegging, it's an insult. It's just flat insulting. It's as insulting as any of the things that he wrote about in his book about Dr. Fauci saying and doing. It's just as insulting as those things. And if you don't see it as that, that's on you, not me. Listen, my new film, God is AI, it's my most important message. It's only $12. Just get a copy today. Get a copy of Unlocking the Book, the movie also. It's $10 in my download store. I love you guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.